Hey, what's up guys, EGW. Today we're just going to go over some of my replays from CRL yesterday. So this was the group stage. Basically you have the first day where you play a Swiss bracket and there's 1500 players down to the top 64. And then you have the group stage where you have groups of 8 and the top 2 will qualify for monthly finals. I didn't qualify, so it's basically just a big waste of time, but you know. Some decent matches, thought I'd show it anyway, and then we'll see for next month. Worst case scenario, I'll still qualify to play in the LCQ in September, so that's fine. Anyway, in the first game, pigs against pigs, so I feel pretty happy with this. I've got Dark Prince, I've got Baby Dragon, which especially at the moment, making everything so fast, is nice, and a good Ice Spirit there as well. I think these matchups, I felt comfortable making the first play with the pigs at the bridge because I know I can defend quite well. I normally wouldn't, but I think I can just get to double, get to triple, psych my lightnings, should be fine. So if you haven't already, subscribe to APUK UK and all their various YouTubes and TikToks and whatnot. They make content and have clans and this stuff. Yeah, here I expect him to have a lightning. So that was a very sad little play with the Baby Dragon and pigs at the bridge. He has Fireball, which is fine, because I know I can get a better spell cycle when I get to double and triple. But it also means I have to keep splitting my pigs rather than being able to play them all at the bridge in the same lane. Regardless, we have a small damage lead, and I just don't want to make any big commitment yet. He kind of feels the same way. So March at the back. I can always match the marches with the Baby Dragon, and then if he tries to play a Dark Prince or Tesla to protect or whatever, I can get a good lightning off, and if he doesn't, well, fine. I assume he'll ability, yeah. I just set my Golden Heart because my hand is not amazing, and I might as well spawn this big orb. See, psych my Skellies. I just want to get rid of the Marcher, so I can do that. Psych my Ice Spirit as well, and then here he can Marcher. I think I make a big misplay here. Yeah, that Baby Dragon placement was just atrocious, because it lets the Marcher line up. That being said, now with a good Ice Spirit and 2 Dark Princes and a bad Marcher ability, I have a chance to make a nice play. Split the pigs. He gets his Evo Tesla plus 5-all. So I mean, it was a good play, but it's just one of those plays. If he has one less elixir, I win. If he doesn't, he can defend fine. But it's alright. I feel like I have a good hand now. I can get quite aggressive. And he doesn't have great responses. That was a nice quick Dark Prince on the March. He can't really protect it well. And as a result, yeah, poor Tesla there. Very, very poor Tesla. I think it was a misclick. That allows me to get my Rhino off the Dark Prince, which he can't really defend well. Split pigs. And now he has the Fireball one side and he's in big trouble. So here I basically just win. I mean, one mistake off the Tesla. I get my Dark Prince Rhino. He can't really defend that and the pigs without using his Tesla. He has to pick. And so I know he has Evo pigs. Just trying to avoid him getting a good Evo pigs. So high Baby Dragon on my weak side. Here I can get my lightning off because I just need 2 lightnings. And then that's a very poor set of Evo pigs. Mistimed as well as the Marcher, which I can now kill. Sure, he can ability, whatever. I just need a cycle to my lightning. Yeah, I think a lot of these games, like, playing people that I'm tempted to say are worse than me, you can sort of just, or worse than you guys, you can sort of just wait for them to make an error, and at some point they will make one error which will allow you to win the game. And so, next match against, I think it's Newsy. This guy's actually ranked higher than me. I think currently in CRL he's number 14 or 13 or something. Definitely an interesting player. It's sort of similar to me actually. Just puts ridiculous things in the deck and hopes. But this, yeah, I have quite a nice Mega Knight deck. I think this was the game too. So when you're playing in CRL, you have the dual format, so you basically can't repeat cards, and as a consequence, you come up with, I guess, a bit more deck variation, which is nice. And so, yeah, after seeing the first few cards, I expect RG, but my hand isn't great, so I have to hog. And it's fine, he's going to get King Tower at some point, right? So it doesn't really matter if it's now or in, 2 minutes. I don't want to make any big commitments because obviously everything in my hand is expensive, and I know if he just RG the bridge, he'll win. So let him play Skelly Drags, which was not great for him. Because especially in these matchups in single, you can just get one good RG at the bridge and you will win. Sure, a fireball. That barb arrow is also not great because it just means my goblins will get a lot of value if I need them. But once again, I'll cycle the Mother Witch. He just uses fireball as well, which he normally should be saving for the Mother Witch. So there's sort of no risk in making that play for me. This matchup is very tricky. The Ronin just touches me. This was nice because it was kind of a prediction, and he also made a very strange RG. So it allows me to get my cannon cart, my goblins, a hog hit, Mother Witch doing good things, so I can also zap, He has to spend his Ronin, which is nice because it lets me know his deck, and also when he's down a little bit, I know he can't really pressure me for a while, as well as having no RG in hand. So, I mean, a small damage lead going into double. We can Mother Witch on our stronger side. Yeah, strange Barbaro. He has to fireball anyway. And that allows us to Mega Knight the back, because if he goes RG, we have the goblins and he can't kill them. But here, yeah, not the best RG. And a nice Emperor's placement, so that allows us to hit the Skelly Drag directly. And then we can go in because he doesn't have Barb Barrel in hand yet. He'll get it now. But we should be able to go Hog plus our goblins. And yeah, some decent damage here. Looking back, I actually could have got decent Evo Zap on the Ewiz and Tower maybe. But because I have to do it anyway here for the Ronin and the Ewiz. But that's fine, a small thing. Here he should have gone RG the bridge, because even if I Mega Knight, the Skelly Drag sort of killed it. I have to Mega Knight anyway, but I do it a little bit lower than I would, so that if he goes RG, I can sort of protect myself and protect the lane. So he goes RG here, I can go for a low cannon cart, he can't really get to it. If he tries to Fisherman in the bridge, it won't reach it. And then goblins as well, so he has to play his Barb Barrel, and then not the greatest Barb Barrel. I should be able to go for an ability and the Hog, Mother Witch as well, because I'm just trying to pressure the bridge. Okay, decent set of Zap and arrows. Maybe could have timed it slightly better, but sort of still had the same outcome. Everything's dead, I have a damage lead. But I'm also very conscious of the fact that if he goes RG the bridge, I kind of can't defend. So I'm setting stuff up at the back on my weak side. This Hog prediction on the Ronin was just perfection, to be honest. I expected a Ronin in the back. I can Hog. I get my Zap as well for the final hit. And that was just perfect. I think if I don't make a prediction like that, I will lose. Because he just goes for 1 RG and I lose. So cycle. Spells. And yeah, sometimes you have to make big, perhaps unorthodox plays to win difficult matchups. But I think that's taking some risk is also important. It's an important part of being able to win against good players. So the same duel with this guy. This was a game 1. We just start with something simple, right? I think when you're playing a player that has like a decent variety of decks, they could play anything. You want to be quite safe for the game 1, so we just go with the most common RG Cage deck. You've probably seen it everywhere. But knowing that he's used his Zappies here, I think, like, often when they have this Loon deck with the XE, they typically have very bad hands in single, and he goes way too aggressive with that Executioner. And I'm aware of this, I've played this matchup 100 times. I'm going to go all in opposite lane. He has no Zappies, so I don't need to Fireball. He has no XE, and whatever building he has will struggle. So sure, he goes for his Cage. But I mean, it's all dead. I can just E-Spirit on the XE. He has no Elixir. And, yeah, decent Bob ability. Lumberjack, he has to play Zappies. So once again, my next hand, I don't need to save my Fireball for the Zappies because they're out. And also, when he's so low, he just can't attack me. He really needs a Giant Skeleton plus XE plus Balloon to be able to inflict any sort of damage. And so I know I basically won, but to finish out the game, because I need it's gonna be 4 fireballs. I probably need 1 RG hit. So I don't make any play, and he kind of feels the same way. Neither of us have great hands. His best option there is to either wait for me or play just a minor or something, which won't really do much. And for me, there's just no need for me to take the risk of playing a card when I'm up so much anyway. Like, I think that's important as well. Never feel like you're forced to play anything. You know, I can wait till double. I can RG the back because I know that I can sort of create a push, get an Evo cage on the Giant Skeleton, and then try to get 1 RG hit through. So I start the push. I want to go for a high cage here because I can pull in the Giant Skelly, and I know that I can defend with a balloon, just cycle some spirits. Looking back, I should have cycled the heal spirit on the left side, but, you know, it's a small thing, I guess. And here, yeah, I get my 1 RG hit. That's what I need. So, because he doesn't want to spend his Evo cage on what is essentially 1 RG hit, there's just no reason for him to do that. I get my hit, and then I can just cycle, play a couple spirits, because, you know, it's a stupid game where spirits just defend anything, and that is that. He makes a strange choice to just ignore the Lumberjack. He then NATOs nothing. I mean, even if he had hit the Phoenix, his balloon will still get 0 hits, so I'm not really too concerned. But yeah, that was pretty much a perfect game. Just knowing the exact cycle and single, as aggressive as possible, and then finishing it out without sort of panicking, which I think is nice. So, next one against Sosa. He qualified for World Finals, actually, I don't know, a few years back. He hasn't really been the same since, I guess. So I wasn't too concerned going into this, but still a solid player. I think he plays his log, I can love a first play because I know whatever he can do, I have Skami and he's just played his log. So there's not really any way that he can cause me trouble. Yeah, there you go, pigs. Unless he has an earthquake there, which is pretty unlikely, he just loses. And so we'll see what he does. I just go Lava Loon. He'll probably go for Lightning here. His deck normally has Mighty Miner, which is quite good against mine because it can defend the Lava Pups, and I don't have great ground troops. But him having a Ronin is fine for me, I guess. To be honest, a lot better because I can just play a Skami on it. And so what I should have done is played that much lower and then Lavaed in front, and then I would have won the game. But because I was just being stupid, I didn't. And yeah, this is just ridiculous. I should bomb in the left side because there's goblins as well. I go for minions because I expect a log prediction, but that was just not a good play for me. Not a great defense. That being said, I'm up a little bit, so I can lower the back. I get my bomber hit as well. And this is a big mistake from him. So he plays his Baby Dragon, which is fine, but because he plays it so early, it's too high for him to protect it properly. So as you can see, he tries, right? But I can just play my Inferno Dragon. There's not much he can do. So here he should go for his Evo Pigs. I go for my Loon opposite, which, I mean, is fine. It wasn't a great play, but it was fine. And to be honest, I'm just not playing that well in this game. So, yeah, bad vines. I think I played it sort of a similar time to when I played the Goblins, and so by consequence, it did not go so well. And a nice low Skami. This Skami was great because it sort of gave me a chance. No hits from the Ronin, then I can start creating my push with my Evo Inferno, and that's where we can really cause him some problems. This Inferno placement's nice because there's not that much he can do. And here, a great set of vines to predict the East Spirit, and then he can't defend this. So a little bit lucky from my end, but I also Evo Skami the pocket because he can't really defend that properly as well. Get a rage going on my Evo Inferno, and then I just 3-count him. Yeah, I mean, I didn't play single great. One good set of vines on the East Spirit and the Baby Dragon, and that was that. I can't really say I played amazingly because I didn't. But you don't always have to play well to win. that is also an important part of playing competitively or just on ladder. If you're slaving away on mid ladder, they just have to be slightly worse than you. And so the other game of the duel against Sosa, he goes to Graveyard, Cycle, kind of expected. So when we're picking decks to try and counter, we sort of think what Cycle decks will he play because he doesn't play any other decks. And so like this matchup is really nice for me. I've got arrows for the archers, I've got Mother Witch for the Graveyard. It's quite difficult for me to lose this. And similarly, it's very easy for me to win this. So the bowler, yeah, sure. Bowler just bowling. And here, for me, I just think that's a big mistake from him because the Dark Prince is coming when my stuff isn't going to cross. I get a great Mega Knight, so it jumps in front. It's in the rage. I've got a Hog as well. And I've already got 16 Elixir on the field and single Elixir. So it's just, what can he do? And so when he plays his Dark Prince so early like that, I arrows as soon as I can, yeah, the game is just over. And so that's the thing, I think, like, at this sort of level where everyone is quite good, if you make one mistake, you just lose. He played the Dark Prince a bit early, my stuff didn't cross, and the game's over. I don't think he would win anyway, in any situation of any hand, because this matchup is very easy for me. But then here, yeah, nail in the coffin, I guess. I mean, he has to do it, so it's fair enough, but the game is now over. And yeah, it's nice to 3-card in CRL. I feel like that doesn't happen that often. So it's nice to see. I mean, yeah, he knows there's no point just wasting our time while he tries to defend and probably can't. So that's that. I think, yeah, you can really get as aggressive as you want as long as you know what you're doing. As long as you feel confident with the deck and comfortable. And so let's see. What have we got left? Ah, yes. Mr. Danny Gamer. Yeah, some of the players that make the top 64, to be honest, are like not really, they don't really play competitive. So they don't really know much about what's going on, and they'll probably just play the same decks as they do on ladder, which makes it quite easy to play against them. It's not that many, because there's, you know, there's probably at least 50 good players, right? And so the other 14 in the 64 just happen to play. But let's see, I can just like my snowball. In this Graveyard against Graveyard matchup, I feel pretty good because I have the extra range troop, which is a preference for me, and I can set up my Goblin Heart as well. He chooses to poison, fine. Like, doesn't really bother me. I'm not in a rush to get 100 chip damage off of poison. There's not really any need for me to do that. And I can, yeah, you know, I get my Spear Goblin hit, and we're pretty much even now. So I can just keep setting up at the back, cycle my Evo Archers, cycle my Goblin Demolisher, and see if he tries to play the sequence slightly differently. For example, this, I was considering going in here with the Dark Prince Graveyard, but then he went for the Fire Spirit opposite lane, so I just defended. This, a really nice play. He has no Tesla in hand, he has nothing for the Rhino, and the Goblin Demolisher connected as well. I think they're knowing that because he has no knockback, he just can't defend the Rhino. That was pretty nice. Here, the Archers, could I have placed them better? I mean, they weren't bad. Still gives me a pretty decent lead. About 500 going into double elixir, which is more than enough. One more Spear Goblin here as well. And I think, like, the thing about the Rhino is in these matchups where a few hundred damage is what you're going to get every time you Graveyard Poison, to get, you know, 500 off one Rhino is absolutely worth it. So I'm always happy to get quite aggressive there. Here I could poison, I just wait a bit, because I know he wants to Graveyard, so I'm trying not to poison. And I realize that I don't need to poison at all. Yeah, bad Archers, I could have played them lower. But fine, I can go for my Graveyard. And then I can poison this if I need to. I mean, I don't need to, but might as well for the damage, right? We're just both going Graveyard Poison. So trying to sort of match him in that sense. similar thing. I know I have my Evo Snowball, so I just need to try and get a good Evo Snowball. I'm still up a good amount. I have the next Graveyard offense. I can go for the poison as well. So that was nice. A good poison, nice and quick. So a few Skelly hits here. And now I'm up just a lot. So I can go for my Berserker at the bridge, because that way he can't really Graveyard. He has his Evo Tesla. I snipe it with the Evo Archers. I don't like that Tesla placement. He should really be using it to defend my graveyards. That's a great Dark Prince block, and now I can go in plus my Evo Snowball, because that way it sort of gets the Archers off my push. His Dark Prince is dead, the Archers are dead. Plus I still get some hits. So a nice Evo Snowball there. It wasn't like game changing, but it was just game continuing, you know. I had a lead and I still have a lead. And so that's perfectly fine. Yeah, I'm just defending graveyard. I just have to finish the game out. A couple more graveyard poisons. I've got a big lead, so I can just poison nothing. Hoping the Demolisher would connect. It didn't, but yeah, a couple Skelly hits, and now I'm just a poison away. So cycling. Don't want to rush. So low Archers. There's no need to rush. Poison, Snowball. And yeah, I think these sort of matchups where the decks are very similar, I try not to make the first commitment and then let them play into me, see if I can counter push. Because the longer the match goes, I feel like against most players, obviously there's some people better than me, right? But against most of these players, they're more likely to make a mistake than I am, and so I can just let that occur. And so the other game of the duel against this guy, he just has the most common mortar deck. I feel pretty good because, you know, I've got my Fireball bait, MK, GK, I've got a lot of decent defenses for the mortar. And so I can just play my ability. That's a really bad cannon cart. And this is also a bad Fireball, because the cannon cart's about to die. He is down 3. I don't have to defend the cannon cart, and I know that. So I can straight away MK the back opposite lane. I also know he has no Fireball, so I can do things with the Mother Witch. He can't really attack it directly if it's on my side. So I can Mother Witch high. Arrows as well. And yeah, those minions were not great. Those goblins were even worse, and the game is over. And so I'm just going to skip through this because, yeah, some matches you just win immediately, and it's kind of boring to watch the rest. I also don't know why he thought it was a good idea to defend when he lost both of his towers immediately. But, oh well, some people like that, like this. Is it going to change his life to defend this? What is the point? You know, some players, I guess. And so, last duel for today. Let's see, against Hattie. And so, yeah, as we saw before in the video, right? I played kind of the opposite matchup, where I had the RG deck, and they had Balloon, Cage, Giant Skeleton with the Executioner. But, you know, I know these matchups, I've played them all before. So I get my King Tower, good timing there for no Lumberjack hits, and I can just sit back and defend the whole game until I get one chance to attack. Having guards is quite nice as well, because good DPS for the RG. Yeah, that was a good cage, because I knew it would pull the Goblin. And then I have equivalent damage off of my guard on the left side. Whenever they go for Phoenix, you can always match it with an Execution at the back. I played a little bit higher. This was actually a bit too high. I thought the Goblin Brawler would go in front, so that was my mistake. Strange interaction there with the Barb Barrel. Doesn't really matter, because, you know, all his stuff is gonna die anyway. I can just go for my Zap here, because that way the Brawler will die. It did not, but, you know, I was hoping. I can just play a minor, because like a minor on the tower, you know, I'll get 100 damage if I'm lucky, and it's kind of meaningless. Yeah, guards whenever he goes for goblins. A lot of like not wanting to make a big commitment is just trying to match the plays they make. He goes for Phoenix, I go for Exy the back. Same as last time. This time a bit lower because I realized the first time was terrible. And so I know he has Cage, Evo Cage in hand. I set up a very low giant skeleton so I can try and make something happen. I also know the Phoenix will push the Executioner back, so then I can Cage opposite lane for the Evo Lumberjack. And here I can make a push. If I was a bit quicker, I could have probably got a good NATO off. I didn't, but I mean, it's fine. All the stuff he played is dead, all the stuff I played is dead, plus I get an Exy hit here. So I'm pretty happy with that. I go for a low Exy because I expect him to RG, tries to RG at the back, which I find quite odd. And so I can giant scale the back. Yeah, again, you know, he's plays 6, I play 6. A lot of it, you just match your opponents until somebody makes an overcommitment or makes a play that isn't perhaps optimal. The miner in the middle is nice. It kites the Goblin Brawler plus defends the RG. A nice Exy lineup. And, yeah, interesting set of goblins. This time I can just zap them. There's no need for me to spend my guards. And I can just guards because I expect them to ability. No hits there. And I should be able to go in with a balloon here. Because he plays Phoenix at the back, right? So I can pull it back with the miner. He's got nothing on the loon. He also plays Cage. I should have zapped, but I didn't. So, yeah, my mistake. But now he's wasted 2 Phoenixes, which, to be honest, worked even better. I play a bad Exy, so I have to protect it with guards. Yeah, a little bit sloppy on the execution of placements in this game, but, you know, it's fine. He tries to pressure me. It was a correct pressure. I defend fine with Zap and NATO. I take a couple hits, but, you know, it was the right play from him to do that. I haven't got great defense for the goblins when I don't have Exy in hand. Here I should have probably gone from Minor Loon and then eventually cycled to NATO the Phoenix off, but again, there's no need to go aggressive. Yeah, I can nice giant Skelly just block everything. Plus the zap. I can go for a high Exy here. I know that I have my Cage. If I just pull it even slightly or kite the goblins, and I know that Exy will walk over to the right, and that's kind of all I need. But then it goes back, so that's fine. I can go for my Loon here, because he doesn't have Evo Cage, so he can't really DPS my giant Skelly down that well. A decent NATO off, a good zap as well, and yeah. So eventually you get that one push, and you'll just break through. But I think that was nice. Sort of, I played the opposite matchup perfectly before, and this was, other than some small placements, pretty perfect as well. And so it's nice to be able to do it both ways. But the other matchup against Hattie, he's playing a deck very similar to the one I played against the last opponent, Mega Knight Bridge Spam, with the Mother Witch, with the Golden Knight, with the Bandit. And so a lot of picking in the duel format is, you know, that first game, right? He played a Fireball. And so you see I've got all my Fireball bait cards. I've got Demolisher, Zappies, Skelly Drags, because I know he hasn't got incredible options to kill them. And so, yeah, the first Mother Witch, I just let it happen because I can't be sure he has a Mother Witch, so I don't want to commit to a Fireball. Or I guess I didn't have it sort of selected in hand to be able to play it quickly. Then here, we try a bridge battle. I know that it's going to splash on the Skelly Drags and end fine for me. This is way too early for the arrows because they didn't even cross, and he also didn't hit the Skelly Drags. Yeah, this was a hideous set of Skelly Drags. He managed to make it splash on his own tower. That made me laugh because it was just so terrible. And now this time, I can go for the same play, except I have my Fireball ready because I know he wants the Mother Witch, right? So I can get my Fireball nice and quick and huge amount of damage. Yeah. And so he tries to pressure. It's the correct approach from him, but I know I can defend. I'm confident in my defense. A good bar barrel. I do take a hit. But it's fine, we have such a big damage lead, I can afford to take a hit. It's not the worst thing. And so then we're just waiting. MK at the back. It's an okay play for him. I don't love it though, just because he doesn't have spells to kill any of my range troops, and so it doesn't make so much sense for him to try and Mega Knight at the back when I can just play a Golden Knight or whatever, outrange everything, play my, and right, it's all dead now, I've got a huge counter push. I can mortar high so he can't Golden Knight dash. Or I guess he can, but you know, as long as he can't hit my tower, it's kind of fine. Nice splash there on the Skelly Drags. I tried to get the last bit of damage I need to finish the tower. Fireball from the Mother Witch, nice. And also hit the Golden Knight. Plus tower damage, and yeah, this game's almost over. I'm just trying to finish it out. I've got my Even Mortar in hand. I want to play it on offense, because I guess that's a tendency, right? There's no need for me to. I can just do what I'm doing now, which is spam Fireball bait troops, try and get the last bit of damage I need with a Skeleton Barrel or whatever it may be. And so here I'm like, oops, I probably shouldn't have done that, but then, yeah, he doesn't go in. So I can just play my Bar Barrel without any concern and set up at the back again. Notice I'm not in a rush to finish this game. I don't even Fireball the Skelly Drags because there's not any reason for me to take any risk. I'm up so much. I can mortar. I'm trying to get the Golden Knight connection. I don't. But there's just no reason for me to take any sort of risk of any kind. So I'll play it as slow as I possibly can to ensure that I don't make any error. And I don't give him any chance to come back. So here I go in again. He has no MK yet, so he has to make some plays he doesn't want to. And then Golden Knight dash, try and get before the MK, yeah. Skelly Drag splash as well. And so that was a pretty nice game. An easy matchup, but good defense. Anyway, that was it for my CRL games. As I said, I didn't qualify, so it's kind of all a waste of time. But I'll see you in the next video. I'll probably do some ladder. Been enjoying this deck, so see you then.